Welcome back. Today we're going to be doing homemade chicken tenders. You're going to need a pack of chicken tenders, buttermilk, eggs, self-rising flour, oil, seasoning, and a deep fryer. I have a Grandpappy. That's what I'll be using today. And on the oil you can use whatever you like, seasoning as well. Let's get started. First thing we're going to do is get our chicken tenders and cut these tendons out, like so. There are other ways to get these out. I've seen it done with a fork. I'm not really good at it, so I just use the old scissors. This is what you're looking for. This little white tendon right here. Right there. It's kind of like a piece of gristle. And we don't need that in there. Next, we're going to crack our eggs, 2 of them. Whisk them. Then we're going to add our buttermilk. Shake it first. The reason I do the egg first is in case I get a shell in there, I can fetch it out. That's about half of that pint. Quart. Then we're going to whisk it again. We're going to put in about a teaspoon. I like the Memphis seasoning. It's the Private Select from Kroger. Put it in. Let's put some more. Alright. Add your chicken tenders. And we're going to let these marinate for an hour. While we're waiting on them to marinate, we can go ahead and get our deep fryer ready. I use the whole thing. This needs to be heated up to, I do it on 400. Probably about 10 minutes before you get ready to add your chicken. Because if you put it in there before it gets hot, your flour goes everywhere, but on the chicken. We're going to go ahead and put our flour in a bowl. And we're going to wait. Now we do the fun part. I'm going to add another teaspoon of seasoning to my flour. Stir it around. It's easier if you go ahead and flour. I do about 5 at a time, and I do 1 at a time, and I use one hand to do the flouring with, because if you don't, your hands are going to be clumpy with buttermilk and flour, like so. So I've got my deep fryer at 400, 10 minutes prior to putting them in, that way it's ready to cook them. I'm going to go ahead, I do about 5 of them at a time. See what I mean about the lumps? I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of them and let them sit here while they cook. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. I usually don't mess with them while they're frying until about 4 minutes in. That way I don't knock the flour off of them. The less you mess with them in the fryer, the better off you are, because if you stir them around a lot, you lose a lot of your breading. I also have my bacon cooking rack over here with paper towels on it, so I can let them drain, get the excess oil off of them after they're done. See, look at that. It's time to wash them. And if your flour starts to get real clumpy to where it's not going on your chicken tenders good, you can always start with a fresh thing of flour. Usually I do if I do more than 1 pack of chicken tenders, and normally I do because I cook them for the whole family. And the reason I use the buttermilk and let it sit for an hour is because it helps them stay moist and tender. This is what I mean if your flour gets clumpy like that. It's time for you to dump it out and put some fresh in if you got more tenders. Alright, we gotta wait till they get cooked. Alright, it's time to take them out. Beautiful, nice and crispy. Lay them on your cookie sheet. I have my cooling rack underneath to help with the draining of the oil. Second batch going in. I'm going to go ahead and put all 7 of them in here. 10 minutes. All right, let's take our last batch out. Look at how crispy. Last but not least, now let's cut that oil off. Let's try one. Your family will love them. Mine does. See you next time. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. It's best to heat these up either in the oven for 10 minutes, about 350, or use your air fryer, and they'll be just as good as when you first cooked them. See you next time.